What is going on, everybody? My name is Ciara Lawler. Welcome to another week of Movie Mondays. This is the Here's for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. Shaun meighan. Shaun, how is it going?
Connor, are you ever really glad that we record these like the day they come out now? Because...
yeah,
my God,
absolutely.
It's happened again.
See, we used to do a thing where we would go, we have Sunday off from work, let's bottle it in on the Sunday, we'll record, then we have Monday evening off. But then Marvel and many other production companies decided to start releasing trailers Monday morning in the US, which would be Monday evening here, which is
two hours before the show comes out.
It might be the worst thing any human's ever done. Now, I don't want to name names, but I'm pretty sure that's up there on the list.
I think we're all thinking of a certain name, and thank God you didn't say it.
Kevin
Elon
Feige.
Musk. Oh, sorry.
We went different ways.
No, but Connor, I am doing well. I am excited to talk about movie news with you this week. And it's been a week. There's actually been some news.
Yeah, and there's been two big trailers mostly. Now, one, of course, dropped about 4 hours ago, and the other one dropped during the week at some stage. I can't remember the exact date.
I think it was Wednesday.
Might be Wednesday, yeah. I think we'll start with the non-Marvel based one, because I feel like it's fun to talk about Fast and Furious 9 with you, Shaun, as you know nothing, and I have a weird fandom with this series.
You are weirdly into this series for a man who, I know for a fact, thinks these are bad movies.
Yeah, I think they're awful. Truly. But I respect that every movie I walk out of, I think, the next one cannot be more exaggerated and mental. And they always find a way, Shaun.
They do always find a way. What I will say, this one looks somehow a little more grounded than like a Hobbs and Shaw did.
How? Sorry, we're not going to agree on this.
No, I'm just saying. This one at least
they go to space.
Yeah, but Hobbs and Shaw had like a super soldier in it.
Okay, yeah, no, Idris Elba was a super soldier in that, but Vin Diesel has been a super soldier since 2001 in these films.
That is true. I don't know if he's like a super soldier or just some kind of unkillable god.
I think he's an unkillable La Familia god.
Now, I saw like this trailer. It popped up for me on Twitter, just like one of those autoplay videos, and I saw a kid playing with a space shuttle and Dom Toretto. And I was like, it's fucking happening.
Yes. But here's the deal. Who are they fighting in space? Who are they going to drift to death in space?
I would say you could do nothing but drift in space.
But I don't think the drifting that they want to do happens in space.
This might be a bit grim, right? Do you think one of them is going to get left in space?
I fully bet if Vin Diesel or Don Toretto got left in space in these films, he would be able to breathe. He would swim back to a space station.
He's going to get stuck in a car. He's going to like wait until it rotates and is pointing at Earth. And then he's going to hit the NOS.
Hit the NOS. I'm going into hyperspeed. Here we go.
It's a Star Wars effect just plays.
And he just perfectly lands in his own driveway.
Oh yeah, he's sick
home.
in the landing. He's not even going to like have a cut on him. He's going to be fine.
No, why would he need a cut? I mean, so the plot of this one, from what I can gather, is that death doesn't matter, as we have characters that are definitely dead back, which is good.
Yeah.
You've seen Tokyo Drift. So
I've seen the last half of Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, so Han's return here must have had a very big emotional effect on yourself.
I mean, it is... I mean, it had an emotional effect in that, a character I recognise.
You're like, there's John Cena. There's that other guy.
John Cena is putting in work in this movie, man. He looks really intimidating in this.
It does feel, just watching this trailer, like John Cena and Vin Diesel's problems could be solved with just a 5-minute chat about how much Vin now loves family.
That's true. But also, they're not going to have that heart-to-heart, Connor.
No, they're going to punch each other until they have the heart-to-heart at the end, where it's going to be a moment where John Cena's going to have a gun pointed at, I'm assuming, Letty, and it's just like, I'm going to kill her if you don't say you think I'm great. And then Dom's going to be like, do you remember all the times we had as kids? And we're going to see a flashback, and it's going to be lovey and dovey. And then John's going to be like, I'm now part of La Familia, but I'm the most La Familia.
I am more La Familia than all of you, and I will kill anyone who disagrees.
Especially you, Ludacris. What a dumb name.
You want to die again, Han?
I brought you back into this world, Han. I'll take you back out.
Yeah, are they going to address the fact that a man is back from the dead?
I feel like they won't need to in this movie. I think the fact that Han is coming back from the dead, a character that we know is dead, and we've seen die.
We've seen him die.
Coming back from the dead is the sixth strangest thing in this trailer. I feel like that is a good... it's a good place to be going into this film, that this is really the right level of Fast and Furious exaggeration.
It is very fast and very furious. More so than any of the others before, except for I will stand by that Hobbs and Shaw is like a weirder sell to someone. Like, if I was trying to sell someone on, watch this movie, it's about cars, Hobbs and Shaw would not be the one. But this...
But it does have The Rock and Jason Statham.
Yeah, who... Do they appear in this at all, in this trailer?
They're not in this trailer. Now, they could still appear in the film itself, but I can't remember seeing them in any promotional campaign so far.
Right, okay, so maybe they're still Hobbs and Shawing it up.
They're Hobbs and Shaw. Sure, you can't have John Cena and The Rock in the same movie. I think that's a contract thing.
Yeah. Also, can I just say as well, you know the rocket car at the end?
Yes. I do know the rocket car at the end.
It's like the weirdest thing, because it looks like you mixed like the car from Ghostbusters with the DeLorean. Yeah. And then there's two men in like deep sea diving suits inside it.
They've just kind of put together a few different ideas. They watched a few movies from the 80s about what the future would be like, and then they just kind of stuck it all together in a car and a few suits.
And like that, there's absolutely going to be a montage of them building that car, because it is like riveted together, and there's a big cannon NOS in between the two astronauts. Are you
going to have a spaceship with no NOS? I don't think so.
There's a big red button with like masking tape stuck on it, and written on that is blast off.
My favourite bit that got me was the big truck flip, okay?
Yeah, good truck flip.
You're a fan of a truck flip. Sorry, just before I get into this, Shaun, how would you rate this truck flip?
Look, the peak is The Dark Knight, because that was an actual truck flip. I don't think this was an actual truck flip.
Looks CGI to me.
Looks CGI. It's still a good CGI truck flip. I'd give it 270 out of a possible 360 degrees.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good ratio.
That's 75%.
Was your my favourite bit, I should say, not your favourite bit, but my favourite bit was when the truck is driving and it's about to go off the cliff.
Yeah.
And Vin Diesel says, "Not today," and jumps out and rolls.
Yeah.
And I would bet my life savings that he stands up from that roll and there's not one cut on his arms. Not one, Shaun.
No, because he rolled correctly, you know? Like, he knows how to roll, this Vinny G.
He's in a tank top. and he's out there jumping onto some tarmac at 900 miles per hour.
He's in a white tank top, like it would show any level of dirt or damage.
Yeah, but Die Hard has taught us that you don't need to show the damage. That was the best thing about Die Hard, that they didn't show that he had blood on him. No, that's what Vinny does.
He was spotless that whole movie.
Spotless.
There's one scene that I really like, which is where there's a man on like the back of the car, and they pull the parachute that he's wearing, and then he explodes.
Yeah, because they now have magnets, Shaun. And I feel like it's taken us 9 films to get here, but they've discovered magnets. And I think that opens up a whole new ballgame of stuff.
But I don't think it's the same level of, like, I don't think that, like, it's the scientific way that magnets work. I think those magnets are going to do whatever the story needs them to do.
So you're saying this won't be based in a real life kind of atmosphere, these magnets?
No, this might divert from the norm of Fast and Furious, and it might go a bit wild, Connor.
Stand up in the cinema. I don't feel like this is realistic. I'm going to leave. They're going to space on the screen, and you're like, what the fuck is up with those magnets? Could someone explain the magnets to me, guys?
Excuse me, pause. That's another thing, actually. This is in cinemas. It's coming out July 8th in cinemas, it says.
Yes. And also, by the way, do you feel like this is a really, really good cast? Now that they've added Helen Mirren back in, along with Charlize Theron and John Cena.
Yeah, like, I think, do you think people have, look, maybe they're just like, I just want to be in a movie now. But I think, like...
Oh, and Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell's also coming back.
Wow. Like, maybe it's like Fast and Furious, people get it for what it is now, and it's just like, it's fun to be in. And maybe that's why all these, like, people are coming back into it, that they didn't get, like, a fair shake the last time they were really in it.
You think when Helen Mirren turned up on set, Tyrese Gibson was like, here, come on over here, love. I'll give you some tips and tricks on how to get the best out of yourself.
Let me teach you how to drift.
And then we'll move on to acting. Jeez, who are you?
Sorry, we haven't met.
You probably know who I am. I'm Mr. Gibson. What about yourself? That's ludicrous.
And he is ludicrous.
He's an absolute mad lad, so he is. Yeah, the magnets were something that I was just like, of course they introduced that, because there was a movie, I can't remember if it was 8 or 7, might have been 7, where they introduced the fact that Charlize Theron could control cars. And there was a scene where, like, a whole car park, all the cars, like, were activated at once, and they all just started flying out of the windows onto the street, because that looks real cool, Shaun. You know what I mean?
That's a good shot, yeah. This is like a series of, like, things that would look cool in a showreel, is what this movie is.
And I think these movies need a scene where they're driving down the street and the buildings all start collapsing in. Something keeps coming out of the buildings or into the buildings, and there's glass exploding. It's just a cool shot, Shaun. You just need to ramp it up every single movie.
It just needs to get bigger and bigger. Fast and Furious 10 is going to be insane. Like, that's
how do they fight in space?
It's a very good question. The high-paced action of cars, but translated into a place where there's no roads.
They can't drive an alien over, can they? Can they?
I don't think so, but unless they, like, crash through the wall of the ISS and just...
accidentally.
Yeah, just like this, like, monument to humanity's collaboration, like, worked on by all the scientists all over the world, and they just fucking nos through the side of it.
Yeah, but, like, it'll be cool, though. Like,
class.
I never said it'd be bad, Connor. I just said that's what's going to happen.
I'm just accurately calling the script.
The budget for this movie is $200 million, by the way, so they're not taking any chances.
No, and it's going to be... Have any of the others broke $1 billion? In the past? Oh, this will do that.
I'm pretty sure 7 is, like, in the top 10 grossing movies of all time.
Fuck me. Jeez.
They've made $5.8 billion nationwide. Or worldwide, I should say.
I heard something that after, like, the MCU, in terms of interconnected universes, it goes MCU, then Fast and Furious, and then DC.
DC, you're like, oh, come on!
They beat us!
We need Big Vinny D! He's the game changer!
He's in both universes, that's true.
Okay, Shaun, we're going to have to move on to our next piece of news. Now, this involves a movie that we talked about last week, and you said to me you were very excited to see it. And that is Indiana Jones 5. Because we mentioned last week that Phoebe Waller-Bridge had joined in with the cast.
Yes.
And Harrison Ford was still there. And you've got John Williams doing the score. And James Mangold directing it. So we were like, this is weirdly becoming good. Well, what they've decided to do is surround Harrison Ford with very talented people, because I now have Mads Mikkelsen is joining Indiana Jones 5 cast, Shaun, and now we have many different movie stars that are all very good, all helping Old Man Ford through this difficult time.
It is going to be weird because, like, you don't want Indiana Jones to be lost among a sea of talented actors, is the thing. So you either
but I think Harrison Ford has that kind of gravitas that he's okay.
Yeah, and I think he prefers Indiana Jones than anything else. I'm see, I was thinking, like, because back in, like, the Last Crusade days of Indiana Jones, Mads Mikkelsen at the age he is now would have been, like, the perfect, like, counter to Indiana Jones at that time. Like, they'd be roughly the same age and things like that. But now I'm realising, oh no, Indiana Jones is 80 years old. And Mads Mikkelsen is like late 40s, early 50s kind of deal.
Yeah, maybe 55. I'd go as far, maybe 55.
It's impossible to tell.
He's looked the same for so many years.
He's looked so good. I wonder, look, and maybe this is me seeing Mads Mikkelsen in too many things. Do you think he'll be a villain or will he be a good guy in this?
I mean, I can only see Mads as a villain. I can't see it. Can you imagine Mads as, like, the hero of a story?
He definitely has been before, right?
Yeah, I think he could play it, but he just has, I don't know, just the voice and the aura. I mean, it just gives off a I'm up to something vibe.
Yeah, and I think it's Hannibal that did that to me. I just don't trust him.
So is Mads Mikkelsen then the bad guy and Harrison Ford and Phoebe Waller-Bridge are fighting him?
I think that might be it, yeah. That, like, there's probably some ancient artefact that's in the hands of evil old Mads Mikkelsen. I hope he's just
and he's chewing scenery.
He's going to chew scenery. I want him to be just a rich asshole who just collects shit. And he's just like, no, it's mine, I bought it.
No, it's mine! I want it!
Like, legally, it's mine.
Yeah. You dropped it, and so finders keepers applies here. Harrison, sorry.
Yeah, and then Phoebe Waller-Bridge is just like, yeah, it does apply, actually. I know the law.
Fuck, he's got us on a legality there. Shit.
Fuck. No, I think it's a weird thing at the minute, because there seems to be a lot of movies getting a lot of excellent casting choices. But
I don't trust it.
And I don't trust it because it dares me to hope and be like, oh, this movie might be good. We said this last week. Like, I've been burned too many times to think that this, just a cast can save a movie.
Look, all I'm saying, James Mangold directing, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Mads Mikkelsen, John Williams on the score. You've got Harrison Ford in it as well. If I gave you the cast without the film, you would think, that's a really good cast. That could do very well.
That's it. And if Indiana Jones 4... Kingdom of the Crystal Skull did not exist, I would also say that's going to be a really good film.
Interesting. It's just number 4 he fought aliens, and where do you go from there? Because Fast and Furious, it took 9 of them to get them to the fighting aliens. Indiana Jones did it in 4.
That's it. And I don't know who directed Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but if you look at that cast, you have Harrison Ford, Cate Blanchett, John Hurt. Like, that is a cast that I would have said was good, and the movie turned out bad. You know?
I'm interested to see. And sorry, I just assumed that we were all just assuming Shia was the star. I didn't even need to say him.
He's you know who directed Indiana Jones, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
It better be Steven Spielberg. Go on.
Spielberg.
Yes! When you said that, I thought, well, did Spielberg direct that one? But then I was like, no, because it was so bad.
It was so bad. How did...
It was 2006 Spielberg, though. That's a different Spielberg.
It's a different Spielberg. What's Spielberg... This is a different conversation. What's he up to recently? Because...
Producing this.
I get he's producing it. Do you know he was an executive producer on Tiny Toon Adventures?
Yeah, because Warner Brothers were mad at that stage that he was the reason why, like, Batman the Animated Series and everything got greenlit at the start.
Oh shit, that's a very good fact.
Thank you.
He's currently doing West Side Story.
Oh, good stuff. Shia? Shia?
Stephen, it's Shaun here. Shia?
We just want Shia to work exclusively with Spielberg.
It's when he does his best work.
We've all seen it. So yeah, Indiana Jones 5 has cast Mads Mikkelsen. We can only assume as a villain, because Mads doesn't play good guys. But now, if he's the good guy and Phoebe Waller-Bridge is the bad guy, that would be great. I'd like to see that. What
if the whole movie you think Mads is the bad guy, but it's actually been Phoebe Waller-Bridge the whole time?
It's been Harrison Ford.
What if Indiana Jones goes bad? Well, that implies Indiana Jones becomes a Nazi.
Really only two options there, isn't there?
Yeah. Yeah, I won't have that.
So, Shaun, we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and this involves our favourite thing, Shaun. So, a few weeks ago, I feel like I do this exact same intro I did it last week as well.
Every
because
story.
a few weeks ago, we talked about a little movie called Release the Snyder Cut. It was the Snyder Cut of Justice League. It was all great.
It was so long, yes.
Yes. And then last week, I mentioned that they wanted to re-release or get the release for The Batman. And there was a hashtag, and there was a trend, and there was a movement, Shaun.
There was. What was it? Bring Back Batman or Bring Back Batfleck or something like that?
Yeah, one of them.
It was shit.
But
it clearly didn't work.
But this week, I've got one of those that are back again, Shaun. Because, same thing, DC, hashtag bringing it back. It's a trend that we thought was going to get up. It died. This week, it's gone back in a big fashion because I have released the air cut trends again as DC fans renew call for Suicide Squad restoration.
I mean, if there's one that I can confidently say won't happen, it's that one. Yeah. Because they have James Gunn now.
I just wanted to mention the fact that this is getting traction, but like, that is a hard sell to be like, James Gunn is doing this movie, but we also want to look at the last one that wasn't well received.
Yeah, you know the boring one? Do that one again. You know the one with Starro?
So you know the fan campaign. So what I have here is I have a few of the tweets. Just so we know where they're coming from. Because I look at something like this and I think, what is the grounds for wanting the air cut? Because you
said that like Jerry Seinfeld.
I'm just, thank you. That's my impression.
It's very good.
What's the deal with taxis? So it always has to be something about someone's life. It can't be something actually good. So, Shaun, obviously the Snyder Cut got released, and I could see, you know, when you could just see the idea behind it, that it's like, okay, well, maybe the Snyder Cut is good. He didn't get to fully make the movie. What can you do?
Yeah.
And the Batflick idea, I can understand. I mean, Ben Affleck has Oscars for directing, and he said he was going to do a Batman movie, and he looked real good as Batman. Makes sense.
We were all excited.
But the grounds to say David Ayer's the man to recut the Suicide Squad seems to like that it has a lot less argument towards it, because I have David Ayer deserves his cut of Suicide Squad to be seen, said one DC fan. It would be a great thing for HBO Max to embrace this. It's superior to the theatrical, we don't know, and would be a big hit for their service. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want to see more of Leto?
Do they actually say that?
That's an actual comment.
That's fucking wild. But who would want to see more of that version of that character?
David Ayer's Suicide Squad would have had Steppenwolf in it. It would also include a lot more of Jared Leto's Joker that was incredibly well received in the Snyder Cut.
What?
Look, don't shoot the messenger here, Shaun, but I'm just interested to see your thoughts on these arguments.
Okay. Well received. That's a straw. Received would be correct, I would say.
It happened.
It certainly was in there for no good reason. It didn't add much.
I like this other comment of, we want to see the real Joker. Real is in caps there, just so we know.
Do you know what I love there is that no one is asking to see more of the Suicide Squad.
I think they're all just fans of a certain band and they don't really care about comic books.
No, it's really weird. I think it's the idea that like here's this tentpole character of the Joker, and it's one of those characters like Bond or like Batman or Superman, that there's different versions of the character, and like, oh, what's your favourite version? But the people in a specific camp for this specific Joker just they've had a cumulative maybe like 15 minutes of total footage of him.
And in half of them, he's just laughing. But when surrounded by knives, who set up those knives? Who went through the painstaking process of putting them in a perfect circle? I don't know. What,
either he laid them all out himself, he got someone else to do it.
Either he spent 20 minutes doing it, or he got Harley to do it for him before he entered the room.
That's it. Another option, he built some kind of big knife placing machine. Unlikely. Fourth,
he doesn't have the time, Shaun.
Fourth, he was carrying a big box of knives, he tripped, and they just happened to land like that.
It's a 1,000,000 to 1 shot, but sometimes it happens.
Sometimes it happens. Sometimes people get struck by lightning. So.
Oh no, I've dropped all my knives. Oh, they're a perfect circle.
God, isn't that gas? And I'm all about chaos as well. Isn't it mad that it's such a symmetrical object?
And he doesn't look around like, did anyone else see that? That is fucking mad, lads. Did anyone see that?
It's like it's the coolest thing you'll ever do, and no one ever saw it.
Yeah, it always is, Shaun. So, what are your thoughts on releasing the Ayer cut? Should we or shouldn't we get behind this? Because I'm following your lead. I'm happy to tweet #release the Ayer cut if you're giving me the go ahead.
#amend the trench.
Amend? That's
the next one.
That's the next one. I think it's going to get worse every single time, to the point of it's going to be so bad that they're just release Catwoman, amend Catwoman again.
Dude, fix it. Daredevil. Give me the extended cut of Daredevil.
I just want it extended until it never ends. Just give me so much bench fighting.
Just, fighting in park. Weird basketball. No, that's Catwoman, is the basketball.
That's Catwoman.
Fight.
See, basketball is Catwoman, bench fight with blind man is Daredevil.
Evanescence is Elektra.
Evanescence is Daredevil.
But, sorry, it's Elektra in Daredevil, excuse me.
Does Evanescence also do the soundtrack for Elektra, the movie?
Surely they have one track on it. It was the early 2000s.
They have to. They'd have to. If it came out in 2005, I'd like to see another band cover it.
What if it's like My Chemical Romance or something?
If it's 30 Seconds to Mars, we've come full circle.
Oh my god, that let's Evanescence Breathe No More is on Elektra,
yes!
The album.
Yes!
Thank God.
I could sleep tonight now. Take a sleep.
We also have Taking Back Sunday, Your Own Disaster, an excellent.
Absolutely. 15-year-old me's like, this is a rockin' soundtrack.
I mean, look, the vinyl is on its way, is all I have to say.
So, you are against the Ayer cut being released, Shaun. I just want to get this clear before we move on.
That is the official stance of 50% of this podcast.
And also 100% of this podcast. So I will be back next week with our next trend of DC fans wanting something that will never happen. So
a good Batman movie.
Make rubber pants and Batman. Oh wait. Oh shit.
Fuck.
I'm going to wait for that to come out and then I'm going to hashtag again. So I have another story, Shaun, about our favourite friend Vinny D. Now, Vinny D, he's involved, as we said, massive blockbusters, some of the biggest movies of all time, but he's also getting involved in some live action films that are new. He's trying to get the next generation of franchise off the ground, Shaun, because my news today is that Vin Diesel is to star in live action Rock'em Sock'em Robots movie. Yes, Shaun, we're in. $1 billion on the table, let's call it.
Isn't this just Pacific Rim?
I think this is just Pacific Rim or a live-action remake of Robot Wars that was already live-action.
Yeah, and wasn't there a programme, Real Steel?
Real Steel?
The show, not the show, the TV show. I keep saying TV show. The film, Real Steel. Hang on. Real Steel. There's a Real Steel 2. What the fuck?
Evanescence are the soundtrack. What the fuck?
This is unreal. So
I have never heard of Real Steel.
It's a science fiction sports drama film starring Hugh Jackman and Dakota Goyo.
Science fiction sports drama. Just pick a lane.
It's in 2020, human boxers are replaced by robots. Charlie Kenton, a former boxer, loses his robot in a fight against a bull. And then
against a bull? An actual bull?
And it just says against a bull.
How is that fair? Surely the robot's going to lose that fight all the time.
Robot versus bull? I think a robot has it. They're big robots.
No, if it's a little shitty robot though, like a Rock'em Sock'em robot, it's a bull.
Yeah, but this is like, Connor, I want you to imagine just a boxing ring, but it's like robots about as big as Transformers inside it.
Oh, right. Oh, that bull is fucked.
Yeah, you're thinking small scale. No.
I'm thinking
this
human
is real
size.
steel.
Oh, right. This is real steel, not the fake steel that I'm used to. This is real steel. No, you're right. So, are you saying this Rock'em Sock'em movie won't work or will work?
Well, look, Real Steel got a sequel.
Maybe they used the script from Real Steel 2 and throw it in here.
I mean, look, certainly they could probably use elements of Real Steel too.
Yeah. No, I mean, if they don't, I feel like they're missing a trick.
Hang on. Oh, sorry. There's some kind of fan campaign to make Real Steel 2.
Okay, right. Okay, hang on. Are you the only person that set up that campaign?
No, I've been focused on National Treasure 3 this whole time. This has passed me by.
You've been focused on National Treasure and The Trench. You've only got time for 2 at a time.
But, I might make... Real Steel 2. There's fan trailers that people have made for Real Steel 2.
For fuck's sake.
This is ridiculous. You need to watch Real Steel. It's actually alright.
I'm never watching Real Steel unless it's on the Patreon.
It's 2011 Hugh Jackman, Connor.
That is a good Jackman. That is a good Jackman. I will say that. Oh, man. You're dead right.
It's a huge Jackman.
I will say that this is Rock'em Sock'em Robots will follow a father and son who form an unlikely bond with an advanced war machine. And Vin Diesel is set to play the father, and obviously not the son. That would be weird.
That's true. Or the war machine? He could play the war machine.
He could, but I think was he the robot in
the Iron Giant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got previous. Bring him back.
Bring him back. He loves a voice act.
Do you think a Rock'em Sock'em movie will work, or will it just be Real Steel mixed with Pacific Rim?
I think it's going to be Real Steel mixed with Pacific Rim. In which case, I think it might work.
I think, especially we've seen recently with Kong and Godzilla, that people just like punch-em-ups.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun, and it's just like, who's going to win? It's a big thing. I think, like, Rock'em Sock'em Robots, you could do boxing. I think it might be too similar to Real Steel in that case. It's a mad conversation being that you've never heard of Real Steel.
I just want to mention here, nobody will ever compare this movie to Real Steel other than you.
You wait until when this movie comes out, there's going to be a slew of articles being like, oh, did this knock off Real Steel? And I'll be like, yeah.
You're going to be the only person writing those articles.
No, they're just on our Twitter. It's me having a breakdown.
Is this too similar to Real Steel? Question mark, question mark. Young Pretender fails again.
Two things. First of all, here's the top 4 questions when you Google Real Steel. Is there going to be a Real Steel 2? Is Real Steel a Marvel movie?
Yeah.
Does Real Steel have bad words?
Does it? Shaun, does it?
I don't remember. It's been a while.
Can you just click the arrow down because I really need to know?
Okay, fair enough here. Let me go. Real Steel is a fun-filled family action film that has elements for everyone to enjoy.
Everyone?
Fighting robots for the kids and a nice, uncomplicated plot.
Yeah, I love when a plot is nice and uncomplicated. I can keep up with it.
It does have some bad language. It's for kids aged 9 and over.
9 and over, fuck. Okay.
You have to be tough.
What are we talking here? Like absolute fucking prick You're a little bastard, Timmy, something like that. What are we thinking?
Just it's grand for most of it, but then Hugh Jackman like stubs his toe and says "cunt."
At the very end, he's like, "We did it, Timmy. We won." He's like on his shoulders, like, "Yay!" Oh fuck!
Fucking bastard.
So Shaun, that is a story about Rock'em Sock'em the movie that was replaced by Real Steel the movie that is now going to be back to Rock'em Sock'em the movie starring Vin Diesel.
Can I make one suggestion? That instead of boxing, make it Robot UFC.
Robot UFC. Perfect.
Well, it capitalises on everything.
And so if it's Robot UFC, are we thinking that the robots are paid or the robots are made? Did the people making them get paid? What's the story?
I think it's still Robot Wars rules that like if your robot wins, your team wins. So the robot, there's no purse for the robot. It's all for the pit crew.
And is Sir Kill-A-Lot in the corner?
Sir Kill-A-Lot is like... No, Sir Kill-A-Lot like gets the young rookie when he's down on his luck and trains him up.
Yes! It's Creed! It's
Creed with Sir Kill-A-Lot.
I would watch that.
And then in the third one, Sergeant Bash has raised up a protege.
Yeah. and he's a Russian protege for some reason that nobody knows. It's a robot, has no nationality.
He was a Russian sergeant, it's fine.
Yeah, look, he's a Russian sergeant.
Comrade Kill, they call him.
Oh, Comrade Kill! Comrade Kill would fuck you up.
Comrade Kill versus Hugh Jackman.
I came here to implement communism and kill you and your family, and I'm all out of communism. Here we are.
Oh, God. Vinny D, help.
So that is our story about Rock'em Sock'em. If that doesn't happen, if Sir Kill-A-Lot does not get a plot where he's teaching up a young rookie, I don't want to see that movie.
No, I don't want to see any movie without that in it now.
Never again. I'm not watching any more movies until that is the plot. But Shaun, we're moving on to our next piece of news, and this involves Netflix and a character that I know that you think is really, really neat. And so, go on.
I think I know.
Netflix will go on.
Hugh Jackman's character in Real Steel.
No, it's not. We're not talking Real Steel anymore.
Okay, fair enough.
Netflix will exclusively stream new Sony movies, including Spider-Man, Shaun.
Yo, nice.
So, Spider-Man movies from now on will be going to Netflix, as Sony has made a deal with Netflix that all of their movies will now be streaming on Netflix itself, because of course Sony doesn't have its own streaming service.
I was just going to say, they're one of the few like movie making houses that don't have their own like avenue to put this stuff out. But also like Netflix, if like think of how much work and effort Sony put into keeping the rights to Spider-Man, because it keeps so much money. Now think of how much money Netflix will give Sony to have Spider-Man on Netflix.
Because of course, I mean, it makes sense. Like Netflix are now the biggest thing. Everybody's at home, and so Sony need to get involved, but they don't want to set up their own streaming service, because if we're honest with ourselves, I don't think Sony would get the traction that Disney have, or even that HBO Max have. That they just have an inbuilt lots of shows there. Like Sony, I'm sure, have shows, but Disney got to launch with literally every cartoon that's ever existed at the same time.
Yeah, and then they've just kept adding stuff, and they kept making stuff.
Yeah, because they own everything. The two of them own everything. And Sony really, they have a lot of movies, but their main thing is Spider-Man. So unless they just release all 7 Spider-Man movies and then just call it quits.
Yeah, so this would incorporate then, it does include the MCU Spider-Man, so Homecoming, Far From Home, and presumably No Way Home eventually.
Yeah, that would be the idea, yes.
Along with Spider-Verse, Venom, and Morbius when that comes out.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2 as well would be going there. Morbius, Uncharted, and Bullet Train.
Bullet Train?
Bullet Train, your favourite movie you can't stop talking about.
It's about a train
versus robot.
It's like it's the new form of transport, is that they shrink you down and the train is put in a gun and then they fire you and you end up at work.
I don't think you've ever been on public transport, but Shaun, Into the Spider-Verse 2 coming to Netflix, that's a pretty big deal. Spider-Verse 1 is on Netflix at the minute, but the fact that it will do a cinema release and then will immediately become out on the streaming service, I think maybe a few weeks after it, like they won't have that long to wait.
Yeah, that's huge. Like, that's actually insane. It is odd because, like, again, with Netflix and all these streaming services, it's really hard to gauge how successful something is on it. Like, I guess you can get like the number of people who signed up the week that Spider-Man was put on the service. But like, there's so many Netflix users already that just like adding Spider-Man to the catalogue is just like, oh, that's cool. I don't know if it'll be a big whole event that like draws a lot of people who already have Netflix.
And I think both sides win in a way. Like, you have on Sony, as you mentioned, they're not like Paramount, Warner Brothers, Disney. They don't have their own streaming platform, and so this is a way that they get to have their own way. This is a way that they get to have their own movies in one place, that people can go there. And then you have Netflix on the other hand, who are constantly looking for content, and so they get all the Spider-Man movies into the Spider-Verse. They're also going to get Jumanji, all the Venom films, all the Uncharted films that are coming out, like. And so the both sides, the deal was not stated how much on the financial side was given.
Heaps.
But if we're going to put a number on it, it'd be lots, I would say.
Yeah, I would say like into the billions, probably. Right?
Well into the billions.
Well, yeah.
I don't know how much, but well into them.
I wonder how much, if any, input Marvel had or Disney had in this. I'm sure it's probably in their contract that they can like sell to whoever they want.
I have just read a very important fact, and that is that Spider-Man No Way Home, that is set to arrive this year, is not included in the deal. But future entries in the Marvel franchises will be. So they won't have Spider-Man No Way Home.
Interesting, because by all accounts from the reports, that seems to be one of the more recent Spider-Man movies that's connected to that Sony world.
But that would also mean that the Spider-Man movies, that Tom Holland's previous movies, would not end up on Disney Plus, I'm thinking. Or would they still send them there? Because if Sony owns them, do they want them on another streaming service?
I don't know. Like, they're not on Disney Plus at the minute, is the thing.
I don't think they will go there. After this deal, I think Sony will be like, no.
Yeah, and that's really weird, because then you could have a situation that, the first two Spider-Man movies, they're on Netflix, but if you want to watch the third one, you need to get Disney Plus.
Yeah, I can't, unless they're hoping that they can release all three of them at the same time on Netflix. But like, they're all released today, but like, even then, it's like a bit, okay. Is Sam Raimi's Spider-Man on Disney Plus? I've never actually checked.
It's not, no.
No, because they're just Sony and the Amazing Spider-Man as well. So they could just have a Spider-Man day where they just release all of them.
That's not a bad shout, actually. They very well might do it that way and like just plug it, like really hammered home. Like the first thing everyone sees when they turn on Netflix, Spider-Man everything.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting idea, and I think Sony are right to do this. Like, in terms of, they realise that they're the smallest dog in the fight, so they've kind of teamed up with a separate neighbourhood. Like, they're like, there's like a dog in another neighbourhood that's real big, and they're like, we're just going to chuck our stuff in with you, and we'll try and be able to survive Disney and Warner Brothers that are just kind of running roughshod at the minute. Yeah.
It's like Sony's like the kid who's quite weak but has a load of cool toys, and then like Netflix are like the kid who's real fighty, real scrappy, will just fucking go for it, but they never have anything nice.
And they've just joined up. It's good stuff.
Just joined up. It's like, if we work together, we can have an alright life here.
So it is just interesting, and it could mean a lot for future Spider-Man movies and how we kind of digest them or where to find them. Like, if they're all on Netflix, that's a pretty big deal. So I just wanted to let you know that was coming over to Netflix, which is a really cool like crossing of different worlds that Sony are like, yeah, we'll just put all the Spider-Man on Netflix. Be alright, that's our new streaming service.
It's because it's weird, like, and this is absolutely like me being spoiled and things like that. It's weird when I go to watch something and I can't find it on any streaming service, which at the minute is the case for a lot of those Spider-Man movies. So,
do you know what I seen the other day? Was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is on Amazon Prime now.
What?
Yeah, we did a Patreon review of it, and we had to go about a few houses to come across it.
We went knocking on doors for VHS copies.
Yeah, and I couldn't find it anywhere in any of those houses that I looked in. And so it took ages, and then I turned it on Amazon the other day, and it was like family favourites. It was the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And I thought, that is wrong in so many ways.
Amazon's categories are the worst thing ever. Because they'll do like, and also like, they'll have season 1 of a show as one listing, and then season 2, and then season 4, and season 3 won't exist.
Yeah, I'm currently watching This Is Us. And if anyone hasn't seen This Is Us, it's a very lovely show. There's no drama. Everyone's so nice. But it's on Amazon, and it's coming out week to week now. So I binge watched all the first 5 seasons, and now week to week it's coming out. And so season 5 has its own section, so I have to search This Is Us season 5 on Amazon, and then I click into it. But there's 2 separate ones. And one of them uploads the new episodes, and the other one only has up to episode 9 of the 5th season.
That's horrifying.
It doesn't make any sense. Someone just needs to say, why don't we just put them all in together and have a little arrow down that you can click on and go to some season?
But like, it's Amazon. Surely they have the money to pay someone to do that.
It's a 5-minute job, Shaun.
You'd think. Also, I was watching Black Sails on that. Very good show, but I can't recommend it because they took it off like a week after I started watching it. The dickheads.
So random. And actually, a final point on Amazon is, my favourite thing is that they have like, say a section of movies, and they've got 5 absolutely amazing films. Yeah. And you're like, this is unreal. Like, they've got a great selection. And then you scroll to the right, and the rest of them are trash.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, bottom of the DVD bin in the pound shop kind of movies.
Like, full-on movies I've never heard of. It was starring people I've never seen in my life. But they're like, they're on the same level as Die Hard. You want to watch these?
Yeah, and it's that. Look, it's a very weird system. Surely there's some hidden gems somewhere.
And that's just a random aside that we just had there, just having a chat. But we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and this is a live-action Disney movie, Shaun.
Get a drink, everyone. I'll be right back.
Please, no. I think you'll like this one. So we've been talking about Cruella. And that's coming out, and you've told me you love the plot, and you love the idea of watching someone go bad, have you not?
I love Joker 2019, correct.
But what have I said? I have a live-action Disney movie that is in the works from Kristen Wiig and Annie Mumolo. Now, the pair have done lots of comedy before, and they're coming back together to pen the screenplay for this very, very exciting project, Shaun.
You're giving me information but no details, which leads me to think that I'm going to hate it.
Kristen Wiig, she's a very talented woman.
Very talented. They're both very talented, right?
Yeah.
Tell me what the project is, Connor.
The Cinderella's evil stepsisters are getting a live-action remake.
What the fuck? So it's just a show, it's a movie about how they become dickheads.
Yeah, I think either they start dickheads, but then if they become good, then I feel like evil stepsisters isn't the name that you want.
No, and like, what? Well, surely, like, oh fuck, why does this have to happen? Because did stepsisters get offended, and they're like, we deserve to be the heroes? Like,
can I read the plot?
Yeah, do.
It reimagines the Cinderella classic from the point of view of her infamous evil stepsister, Shaun. So, spanning from their early childhood through the marriage of their universally beloved stepsister and beyond. We follow Anastasia and Drizella Tremaine as they struggle to uphold their family's legacy.
So wait, is Cinderella the baddie in this?
I think it's like, fuck her. What a fucking bitch.
That child that they forced into slavery.
Yeah,
who
but
made
then she
friends
got
with
rich
the mice.
Yeah, but then she got rich and married a prince. Fuck her, Shaun. What about us?
I think wasn't the moral of the story that they got what they deserved.
Yeah, I think the moral of the story was that Cinderella was always good, and she was under so much hardship, as is every Disney plot, and she ultimately overcomes. So I would like to see someone who has everything and then doesn't overcome.
Yeah, I would like someone. Yeah, so I would like someone to lose it all, but like blame it on the fact that the other person was good.
Yeah. Now, this is part of a larger plan at Disney to delve into the backstories of their most famous antagonists.
A larger plan of this.
Yes, because you've got Emma Stone. She's playing Cruella.
Yeah.
Now you've got a live action
dogs.
of the evil stepsisters. I'm thinking Disney looked at Joker and said, "Hold my fucking beer. Here we go."
Who's next though? Like after this shit.
Okay, so Cruella was wanted to skin 101 dogs. She's pretty bad. Evil stepsisters beat and bully their sister and then are very jealous when she finds happiness. They're not as bad, still dickheads, but not as bad as wanting to kill 100 dogs, I think. Who's left? Hades is pretty good. We've already had the witch from Snow White. Is that not Enchanted?
Maleficent, yeah.
Oh, Maleficent, sorry.
No, it's fine. What about... I'm looking through a list. Like Lady Tremaine, that's the evil stepsister's mother. She's the evil stepmother, if you will. Gaston? Could you have Gaston?
They already are doing Gaston. We already talked about it.
We did talk about this. I blocked it from my memory. Jafar.
Jafar?
Cruella.
I want to see Jafar.
We have Cruella. The evil queen.
Scar? Could we have one on Scar?
We can't. They will. They definitely will.
Yeah.
But that's even worse somehow. How? Why? What? Surely. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Is it not better in like these stories that you have a cartoon level of villainy to because at its basis level, they're stories to teach kids about things.
And to teach them, if you're mean, bad things happen to you.
Exactly. That is like the base level of what's going on in those stories. So is it not just make a really fucking simple to understand villain so that the hero has something to play off of and something to fight against? Because these live action remakes, they're still marketed as kids' movies and family movies a lot of the time. And so... You can't have both. You can't have a complex villain who in a story that needs a simple villain. Am I making sense?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I think, like, in the most basic terms, like, if they make Cruella, and Emma Stone is a very talented actress, and I'm sure she'll do an amazing job. So if a kid walks out going, "Wow, I love Cruella," and then they watch the 101 Dalmatians like, "Cruella, I understand where she's coming from here. Kill those fucking dogs." I feel like they've gone wrong somewhere.
Yeah, like is this how you felt when Joker came out? That like I don't want this to exist.
This is how I felt when Joker, and I was trying to explain it to you, and you were like, "It looks cool, though."
And now I get it, because now it's like, this is worthless. There is no reason for this to happen.
Nobody gains anything from this other than making the original story less dramatic or the hero less likeable.
Yeah, or just like, or I'm going to watch a character that I fucking hate for 90 minutes.
Yeah, and that makes you like the hero more. Like, when Cinderella finds her prince, you're like, yeah, fuck them. You're going to get happiness. On a very basic level, Shaun, I obviously read that book every night. I'm very emotionally attached to it. But I love it. But if you why are they remaking all of these movies about the villains? I don't even mind the remakes about the good people. Why are you doing the remakes on the bad people?
And it just happened all of a sudden. They just started doing it one day, and they never stopped.
Joker started this.
Joker. And I thought that was grand, you know. But
you said it was grand. I told you. I said this is going to have terrible consequences, and you said, yeah, but it's cool.
It's... You warned me, and I didn't listen. And that, in the end, has been my downfall. Again.
As usual.
As usual.
So, Shaun, we're finishing off today's Movie Mondays with the big news. And the big release that dropped a few hours ago. That is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings trailer. It arrived today, Shaun. Now, what this trailer does is it puts me in an interesting position. By interesting, I mean very uneducated. Because normally when we do any sort of story about superhero stuff, I like to think that I even have a basic grasp of who the person is and what their story is about. And so when I watch the trailer, I'm like, okay, I get what's going on.
Yeah.
But in this, I genuinely have no clue who Shang-Chi is. I understand the 10 rings and I understand the Mandarin, but I have no clue on the hero. So I'm looking to you to talk us through this trailer and look for your expert opinion.
Right, okay. So, it's very... Look, I'm going to say it now. I will be doing a Hero or Zero on Shang-Chi this week to give a more in-depth breakdown. But at its core, Shang-Chi is the son of a dude in Marvel Comics called Fu Manchu, who is like this... criminal. He is like the leader of a criminal empire in China. He sends Shang-Chi away to he trains him to be like this ultimate assassin and everything like that. And once he is trained, he sends him away to kill his enemies. But one day, he his name is actually Zheng Zhu. He's based around Fu Manchu. Whole different thing. Sorry.
Okay.
So he sends him away. Shang-Chi encounters, I think it's MI6, and they're like, no, your father's a bad dude. And so Shang-Chi is like, oh, fuck. I've been brainwashed my entire life and I've been doing the wrong thing. So then he turns to good and decides to take on his father and the entire criminal empire and take it down.
Okay, that's a pretty cool backstory, to be fair.
It is, and it works really well in a solo origin film as well.
Yeah, and especially even just the first line in the trailer kind of gets that across, that it's like, I gave you 10 years, and and so now they need him back. So it's kind of it gives off the impression that they've trained this assassin, and then he's had 10 years of freedom, and then they're like, now you owe us something. You have to come back with us and complete your training or finish off doing whatever you were doing.
Exactly, yeah. And it's... this works really well in a bottle, I would say. This is a movie that you don't need, I think, to be involved in the Marvel Universe to enjoy. Which I think is good for the stage they're at, because they need
I think
more
it's a great trailer.
Points. Great trailer. The fight scenes look unreal in this, and the
fight scenes, that was the one thing where I don't want to bring it up, but Iron Fist is all I'm going to say. And Iron Fist has that whole thing of that's just bad and don't do that. And it's really interesting just in this trailer. The first thing that I thought of was that you can kind of feel the fight, and it looked really good. And now, of course, it does have Crouching Tiger vibes and a cool style and some shots that we see here, but it's very hard to do the Crouching Tiger idea on screen and not make it look cheesy or hokey, but to still have it look cool, and you're still in the moment. It's a big action scene, you can kind of feel the punches, and I feel like this kind of even just in this short bit that we got, I'm kind of oh fuck yeah, this looks cool, this is good.
And the trailer accomplishes it really well, because I think nearly every punch is cut to the beat. So there's an audio cue anytime you see a punch thrown. So it feels like there's weight to it. Very good knife fighting as well in it. There's a bit where like, he catches a knife out of the air.
I had to look this up, but I mean, who is the guy that is in the mask? From everything I did, the research was he's known as Death Dealer, I think is his name.
I'm not actually too familiar, honestly. I watched the trailer very quickly during work.
Oh my god! Oh my god! But I mean, from what I've read, his name is Death Dealer, and the only reason we know that is because of some of the toys that have been released. That's the name.
Funko Pop ruined it again.
A Funko Pop has ruined a name. So he has a very cool look. Well, he or she, we don't know. They're wearing a mask, so they have a very cool look. That I looked at it. I originally thought this is going to embarrass me, but I'm going to say it. I thought of the Three Ninjas movies. And it looks similar to one of their masks, and I thought, big shout out to Rocky or Tum Tum.
It's not bad, Connor. It's not bad what happened there. I don't know. Have they changed the origin slightly? Because maybe instead of it being Shang-Chi, who actually, I've been looking into it in the while we've been talking, he goes by Fu Manchu sometimes. It's really weird. But I don't know whether they're having him as his father or whether they're setting up that, the Mandarin is his father.
Yeah, I got the impression that the Mandarin was his father.
Because that's a very deliberate camera move to put the 10 rings behind the throne that the man is sitting on.
I mean, unless his father works for the Mandarin, and he's like the second in command, like being the second in command of the League of Assassins.
Maybe, yeah, and that's like that's why there's all this pressure on Shang-Chi as well, because he's like, you are going to be the second in command to the Mandarin one day.
Yeah, or else you'll be good enough to take over. Like, I've trained you up to take over from him.
Yeah, I love that scene as well, where it's like there's the post that he used to just punch as a kid, and he puts his fist against it. Yeah,
and you see him as a young child, and he's just like lightly punching it, and then you just see him get harder and harder. I think even in this one trailer, like, it's immediately smacked into our face. This guy's an absolute badass. Like, completely unlike the Iron Fist trailer that you're like, who's this guy? Like, it's just shown, without being said, this guy's gonna fuck you up. And I think you need to show that if he's joining the Avengers, and this guy's power is that he's the best fighter in the whole world. And that's a really good trait to have, because they've got super gods and they've got whatever. But if you prove in this film, he doesn't want to be a hero, but my god, he's the most talented one they'd have. Then you throw him into a future Avengers movie, he doesn't look out of place. Because you're like, any fight scene, he's going to handle himself.
Exactly. In the comics, in terms of fighting, he has kept pace with Steve Rogers. He has fought hand-to-hand with Steve Rogers, and I think they only won because someone intervened on Steve Rogers' behalf.
Right, and Steve Rogers, of course, he's riddled with venom.
He's riddled with serum, yeah.
Yeah. So, that's a bit unfair. So, does Shang-Chi have... Does he have serum in him, or is he's just the best fighter? Just
the best fighter. He's just trained. There's a bit in Spider-Man comics called Spider Island. Spider-Man loses his spider sense, and so he goes to Shang-Chi for training, because Shang-Chi can anticipate an opponent's movements so perfectly that it's effectively as good as spider sense.
Right, see... Yeah, I love the idea that Shang-Chi is like Lady Shiva from Batman, where just the best
fighter, most dangerous regular human there is.
But you also have the idea that he doesn't want that. He's a trained weapon, but he has no interest in fighting anyone.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he wants a normal life, which it seems to. There's very good bits with Aquafina in this trailer as well.
They're singing karaoke at one stage.
Singing karaoke, having a bit of a drive on a bus.
They're doing Speed, the movie, not the drug.
The movie Speed. Yeah, it took me a second there, I'll be honest.
They're doing Cruise Control. No, not that one. They're doing the first one.
The good one, the very good one. But I'm really excited for this, and July it's coming out.
Yeah, I think this could be one of those movies that it might not make a lot of money, right? And it's Marvel, so it's probably going to break $1 billion. But
September it's the first movie.
And it's the first movie for a long time that we've had. But I feel like it's in this really great position where even if it doesn't make $1 billion, maybe it makes $800 million, I think if it's good, you'll have a massive surge of like fan support, like this is a great character, and they'll get behind him, like Guardians, really, like word of mouth could carry the, like, I know it's a weird character, but fucking hell, go see that Shang-Chi movie, it's great.
I think this could be a lot of people's favourite Marvel movie once it comes out, because it's so different than anything we've ever seen before. It'll be not only a breath of fresh air to have a movie, but it's a different kind of Marvel movie. I like that they didn't throw a bunch of Avengers references and Captain America references. They didn't throw a bunch of that in to try and like trick people. They're like, no, this is what the movie is. This is your first look at it.
And I think it's set up to be one of the best origin movies they've had. Like, Iron Man is the best one they've done, and origin movies can be hard, and they can be a bit boring, but this is kind of... It's all said in this trailer what the plot is. He's trained, he goes away, they want him back, he doesn't want to come back. So the plot line is him fighting away, like trying to live his own life. Like, I'm not your weapon, I want to be my own man. It's all literally in there in 2 minutes, and I can see this being a very, very good origin, just in that one bit.
Yeah, like, and that's it. When it's done its job as a trailer, in that case. Like, it's made you want to see more.
Exactly. And so, Shaun, I think that's it for this week's Movie Mondays.
It was quite the week of Movie Mondays. We had trailers and everything. We had weird fan campaigns.
We had robot movies.
Oh, the robot movie. That was my favourite part.
Yes.
Would you like me to take us out, Connor?
Yes, please.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of Movie Mondays. We will be back on Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, Friday with a Hero or Zero all about Shang-Chi, and next Monday with another episode of Movie Mondays. Big thanks goes out to everyone who supports us over on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that in the description. Big thanks goes out to Waffles Loves You and says, protect trans youth, LGBTQIA plus rights are human rights. Ciara Lawler, David Clarke, Ed Ball, Joe, ratemyhemsworth.com, click rate, click rate, click Luke, refresh, repeat, never give up. Hickok didn't. Bernie. That's a very good one. Raymond, I hear you're a racist now, Father. Ging.
Yeah.
Roisin, director of Stabnado, a haunting tale of a father and son and a hug gone wrong, starring Shaun Meighan as the tornado Hally.
Oh, I'd watch that.
I'd watch that too. Ryan, Satron Paint Evanson, Shaun Bone Jamieson.
Bone! That's a nice Captain Holt reference.
Very good, very good. Dominic, Jessiah, Florida Gal Green, Anna, Maureen has the fry on Hjelmroos, and Lil Dicky Taskmaster is my dude, McGrew. I agree, Taskmaster is all of our dudes. So thank you everyone who supports us over there. If you want to support the show, $5 a month, you get extra shows, you get Falcon and Winter Soldier chat and movie reviews. So if it sounds like you might be interested in that, head on over there. Also down there is a Spreadshirt store where you can buy t-shirts and stuff. Twitter at Heroes for Hire Pod, 4 is the number 4. Facebook, it's Detective Divilment's discussion group. Instagram, Heroes for Hire Podcast, or you can email any questions or queries to heroesforhire_@outlook.com. But I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I have been Connor Lawler.
I have been Taskmaster. I'm my dude.
I wish you'd remember how to fucking podcast. Okay, see you next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.